should be. There you go. Oh, apologies everybody, I forgot to put the microphone on. But it's all good now. Hello everybody. Again, please Liz, go.
Okay, hello, so now you can hear us. I can tell you that this is Jo and I'm Liz, and today we have Colin in the studio. Hello Colin.
Hi, really good to be here. It's funny being an interviewee rather than interviewer. So it's great to relax and be here.
That's it.
With you.
Yeah, I would say the pressure's off, but actually the spotlight is completely on you.
It's nice to have you back though for the first time really in a while.
Yeah, it's really good to be here.
Yeah, but today we've got Colin in for a specific reason. I've mentioned it over the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure you've seen it through our social media channels. But Colin has got a bike ride coming up soon, a long bike ride, 1,000-mile cycle. And it's a very important thing that's happening around Lifestreams at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play you a clip, and then after that we're going to ask Colin a couple of questions about what he's going to be doing, his journey throughout this, and let's get an insight about that. So let me just play that clip for you now. So that was a little advertisement about Colin's up-and-coming bike ride. Something which I'm quite proud of.
Starts on Monday.
Starts on Monday, very soon then. So there was a little blurb at the end of that suggesting what Colin is actually doing, but I think we'd like to hear it from yourself.
Yeah.
So what is it exactly you're doing?
The whole purpose of the bike ride is to raise some money to build St Stephen's, another one of our Lifestreams churches. And that church is embedded in a community, and the church building facilities aren't anywhere near up to scratch. So we want to build a new centre of the community, hub for the community, to serve the communities. That's what it's really about. The bike ride is just a way of getting some sponsorship, raising some money, and so that's what I decided to do. So I like cycling, so I thought, what can I do? I'll do a challenge. Yeah, no, I mean it's a great thing to be doing, to raise money for St Stephen's. Obviously we want to grow the community there as well as obviously here at St Sed's, and obviously continue growing it at St Peter's. But St Stephen's, there's a lot of plans there for the future. And it's a great thing to do, that fundraiser.
So can I ask, because obviously it's a big project, how much is the cost going to be approximately?
It's very difficult to tell at the moment, but I think the whole building project, building costs have gone up extortionately in the last few months, so I think we're kind of pushing up to £2 million. I don't think I'm going to raise that on our bike ride, but we want to. The first bit we want to do is to build the community cafe and the toilet. I think you need to have the toilets as well as the cafe. So we want to do that as a little package. So this is about, and that still might cost 150,000 or 200,000. We have got some grant funders who are interested in the project, and they will either give us the final 25% or kind of semi-match fund it. So we want to raise this year, we would like to raise about 100,000, and then that would give us the platform to build that first phase.
I think, that is really great to hear. I think that although, £2 million obviously a lot of money, it's still not impossible in terms of the start of everything coming along. This is just the beginning, and hopefully within only maybe a year or two we might be on our way to starting that project. Yeah,
that's what I thought 15 years ago. But it was about 15 years ago the whole project was birthed, I suppose. And it was like God gave us this vision of this new building. What the church wanted to do wasn't suited to what the building has held the growth of the church back. And so we embarked on this building project, and God gave us this. It was £1 million or so at that point. And I remember standing up in church to this small congregation and said, God's given us this vision, and he said that he will provide. And so we're kind of just waiting for God to provide. So the money is there, and it's just that people need to realise their part of it and need to release their part. So we want to encourage, it's a real community project, and we want people in the community to be part of it, take an active part, not just about giving money. So we actually started, the whole thing about 1,000 came up. So we reckoned that 1,000 people give £1,000, that's £1 million, that would build the building. So we asked people to pledge £1,000 originally. So 1,000 mile bike ride came from that. So if it's still open, you can still do this. £1,000 over a 2-year period is about the same as a mobile phone contract, give or take. I know
in context, then it's not that much, is it?
No. We understand that not obviously everybody can do that, but
no, true.
Obviously we would love people just to get involved with everything.
But people don't have £1,000 sitting in the bank. No. But you could do a bit at a time. Yeah. And then what we would do when the community cafes open is say, here's your 1,000 card, you're a 1,000 club member, you'll get 20% off your coffee or whatever it is. So in the 2 years following that, you'll get your £1,000 back, albeit in coffee.
Wow, that's not
so
bad.
That's the kind of theory behind it. And we have a few people that have done that, and it'll be really great to get some more people to do that. So everything revolved around 1,000. So I then said, well, I'll do 1,000 mile bike ride, and it sounded easy to do.
I mean, that's what I mean. Obviously, this is a massive project. Obviously, this is only one little kind of step or one step in the project. So, if you ever do want to get involved with anything to do with, the development of St Stephen's and this project, or just get involved with Lifestreams in general, please contact us. If maybe you want to even look at doing a fundraiser for us, that would be fantastic. Yeah,
we have a new idea. Coffee for Containers is what it's called. And what we want to do is to invite churches to hold a coffee morning or something for us. And so the container bit is the new building is going to be built from second-hand shipping containers, and they're clad so they make them look really nice. And so we're swapping coffee for containers. And so one of the ideas is for us to ask churches up and down the country, would they help a small struggling church here in Southend in an area of high need, and help us to serve that community? Would you hold a coffee morning for us? You raise £100, but if 1,000 churches did that, that's £100,000.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that is possible as people coming together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing. The point of this whole project is to develop St Stephen's, to bring God to that community, and to give them a place where they can feel safe, feel welcome, and have that at the centre of their area. So, it's all for a good cause. So again, please do contact us if you do want to get involved with anything. Let's hear a little bit more about the actual bike ride itself. So, where are you going? Where are you hoping? Where are you stopping each day?
So we're starting. I'm not sure I can remember all of them, but I'm starting at Guildford, and the idea is to visit each cathedral. The original idea was to visit all the cathedrals in the country. Well, that's nearly 2,000 miles. So I've done it in 2 halves. This is the second half. So we're starting at Guildford. Guildford to Oxford is the first day. Oxford to Birmingham, then Lichfield, and then across to Lincoln. That's the furthest east. Then going up north, Sheffield, Bradford, not necessarily in this order, Ripon, Durham, Newcastle, I think that's the furthest north. Then across the Pennines to Carlisle, and then Carlisle right down to Blackburn, I think that's the longest day, 120 miles or so.
So, can I just ask,
Yeah.
each one of these locations is a cathedral.
Yeah, there's a cathedral, yeah.
Is there any of them that you are particularly looking forward to?
I've been to Southend-on-sea before, because I trained in Nottingham and that was the cathedral there, so it'd be great to go back there. York, I think, is a special place. York Minster, love to go there. And part of this is it's the pilgrimage as well, going to all these different spiritual centres, meeting the deans of the cathedrals or people from the cathedrals, joining in with evensong on some of them, won't necessarily get there to all of them. And that surprised me spiritually last time, how much that meant, and going from each one around all of those different places.
When you go on pilgrimage, you're generally supposed to not take very much.
Yeah.
So the question is, obviously being on the bike for a long time, how are you gonna, feed yourself and sustain yourself?
I do have a support car. For 2/3 of the journey, it's electric car, so we're trying to do this as green as possible. But I just shove loads of things in my pockets, and energy gels, jelly. Oh yeah, must get the jelly, and other nutrition. The biggest problem is nutrition and hydration. You can't drink too much water because that drains all the electrolytes out. So you have to have the supplements as well to sustain your body on this endurance thing. So, I've done quite a lot. I eat lots of jam sandwiches, little wrapped up sandwiches that I can just pull out and carry on eating. So it's about making that early in the morning, stuffing your pockets full of food, and then every 15-20 minutes eating something and drinking something on the way.
Yeah, obviously hydration is going to be key. Hopefully it's not too hot, but I'm sure it's going to be warm.
Yeah.
And hydration will obviously be very key. So
sustaining you physically is one thing.
Yeah.
How will you be sustained mentally? I know you've mentioned the spiritual side of things.
Yeah.
But like endurance-wise, is that going to take a toll?
It does, and it's really hard to hold on to, because it's easy to say, oh yeah, I'll eat every 15 minutes, but suddenly when you're not concentrating on the time, like an hour has gone and you feel drained in yourself, so you have to work hard mentally just to keep that going. But it's great to see the countryside, and you have these targets to get to, and that keeps you going. And I have songs in my head.
Oh, do you?
And I pray and things like that. So and the time just shoots past very quickly. Trying to keep, getting lost, and keeping on that direction. So I think I'm a bit better with my route planning this time. Maybe more faster roads, maybe more traffic, but less degree in getting lost.
Yeah, so the whole thing is quite challenging.
Yeah.
Is there anything that is probably the most challenging aspect for you?
Not getting lost.
Okay.
I think it's sustaining it day after day.
that's what I was going to say. I'd imagine that doing it every single day must be so difficult. You don't really get a recovery, do you?
Yeah.
Maybe have the evening, but
I think your body actually recovers quite quickly, and obviously as each day goes along, then you are getting more drained, so there's less resources, but you do have to keep that going. And going up the hills is hard, and that is draining. But the training that I've been doing, more strength training, to try and get up the hills quicker, to use less reserves. So I think it's the whole endurance thing there's so many aspects that are challenging. So
and you did mention an electric car, but it doesn't drive itself, does it?
No. Vi is driving, and so I'm just going to accompany her. Steve's going to do the first few days. So I really appreciate that, because I couldn't carry everything.
No, it's,
Not in this short time. You can do these tours with a rack and everything on the bike and a tent, but it would take several weeks. But to do it in the speed that I've got to do it at, you can't carry, or I can't in my. I'm getting old, you know. Getting on a bit.
It's fantastic to see people, supporting you closely, and I'm sure all of us online and us still here within Southend are going to be supporting you throughout the whole journey. In terms of your last 1,000 miles, what would you say was the most difficult challenge? Was there anything that you encountered that you weren't maybe expecting, or something that really did slip you up a little bit?
Yeah, I think the biggest one last time was getting from Wells to Truro, which was probably, I think on my map it was 128 miles or something like that, but actually in reality it was more like 150 or something. But it's getting lost and going up all these country lanes and then not knowing where you are and not knowing how to get back en route. And that takes time, and it takes your physical energy, it takes your mental energy. And there was a point there when I just, what am I doing? You get to that point where you want to give up, but then you have to push through those kind of barriers and say, well, actually, I've gone this far, so I can do that bit. And so when you get to the end, so it was great to go, because last time it was more of a circular route to get to Truro. Then when I was in Truro, I'm more than halfway. I've actually done. I can do this, and that was that great sense of achievement. And so coming back along the south coast of England then that was beautiful. It was really lovely, really amazing.
Brilliant. So if somebody was thinking about doing something similar, what advice would you give them?
Plan it well. Plan in advance. All of our accommodations. So I want to say thank you to the cathedrals that have given us accommodation for the night, because I don't want to be spending out loads of money on accommodation.
Of course.
Because we want to be raising money. And so that planning in advance, planning the routes, getting advice from, since my last ride, someone has devised this cathedral cycle route, and they've planned it, so the route planning is a lot easier. Some of the, every cathedral has a cycling champion, and so we've been able to contact the local people, so they will know the local routes and ways to go, so that will really help me this time. So finding local people, finding people that know the area, finding people that will come alongside you.
So there are people who have really done this.
Yeah.
So you can go.
I don't think there's anyone done it in quite a shorter time as I'm doing it, but there are 42 cathedrals, and so by the time I finish this, I've gone to all the Anglican cathedrals. This is in England. So that was the ambition. That was the thing to do. But I mean, whatever you plan, go for it, and find ways of doing it. I'd encourage people to get out. Cycling's really healthy. You don't need me to tell you that. My heart isn't, since starting the training, my heart's not working as hard as it was. My lungs aren't working as hard as it was. I feel much better in myself, mentally and physically.
So there are excellent benefits to taking.
Yeah. You don't have to ride 1,000 miles just to get those benefits, but just a regular bit of cycling is really healthy. It's not too. If you start running, I think your joints. There's too much pressure on the joints, but cycling is a lot easier.
Yeah, because I suppose if you're running, you're going bang down, aren't you?
Often on hard ground.
Unless you have a rock, obviously.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, I know that what we would like is everybody to sponsor you financially so that you can get closer to the goal more quickly. But is there anything else that anybody at home can do to help support you whilst you're on your journey?
Just to pray, that would be great. Pray for me every day. And just come on to, I'm hopefully going to do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live or all the social media things, just so you can follow the journey. So just log on to that and see the messages, send me a message. So it's those little messages of encouragement are really helpful, because when you do get, and there will be lows, and it's at those times and you think, oh yeah, I've actually got all this support. So little words, you don't have to say well done or whatever. It's
just anything.
Yeah,
really,
we're with you. We're those kinds of things.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Of course, go to the Just Giving page.
Well, obviously that's the first thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the second thing is, pray and send those nice messages.
Yeah.
Nice messages.
Yeah. A smiley face.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you can think you'd like to add? Because I don't want to conclude our interview if you've missed something out.
No, I don't think so. I think that's quite a broad range of, from the building needs to the details of the. I keep calling it a race. It's not a race. It's a journey around the cathedrals.
But they say a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one.
Absolutely.
In your case, it's 8 miles.
Yeah.
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
But if anybody would like to go and check out St Stephen's, the church is now based in their house at the moment.
It is at 213 Manners Way. A lot of people think that St Stephen's has closed. It hasn't closed. We're operating from the ground floor in 213 Manners Way. We call it 213. Out in the garden as well, which is a beautiful place to go to. And I know you've done some gardening this morning, not in our garden, but just round the corner to here. But it is beautiful, great place to relax. If you want to do a little bit of gardening, planting and fruit growing, vegetable growing there as well, you can do that. But that helps people with their mental health there. And there's a community fridge there as well, so we're reducing waste and helping families out as well. So the church is very active, small but active, and we want to expand all those kind of services there.
And like you said before, if you can get to the kind of first goal of 150,000, then you can develop those things that will help what's already there at the moment.
Yeah, and then start the next stage. So it's getting a presence back on the site so the church doesn't look closed, demolish the hall, because that's unusable now, and start redeveloping the play area for the kids in the area.
Brilliant, it all sounds really excellent, and on behalf of everybody at Lifestreams, I think we want to thank you, and thank you to come and explain it all to us so we know exactly what you're about to take on yourself, and we'll keep you in our prayers. I just want to say, because I know you mentioned about gardening, and at 213 there is excellent facilities if you'd like to give it a go, because it's all beautifully cleaned up there. You've got the polytunnel, which you can just go in and seed something up, and there's people there to help as well. But unlike that, if you fancy something a little bit more challenging but no less worthwhile, here around St Sed's, we're very close to Mendip Crescent, and we have Mendip Wildlife Gardens just a little away from here. And unfortunately, the past couple of years, it's kind of been left. It's become a bit of a dumping ground. But the potential there is amazing for everybody here. If it can get cleared up, then it just provides a lovely space for everybody to go to. There's picnic tables there. You can't see them at the moment, but they are actually there. So if you would like to volunteer even just an hour a week, more than that would be great, but an hour a week, then get in contact and we can maybe take you there and show you what we're talking about. All right. So I think that's it for today.
I think that is it. Well, thank you for tuning in. Again, thank you, Colin, for joining us. Obviously, again, we're praying for you. We'll keep you on our prayers, and we're looking forward to seeing how it goes. Again, hopefully, everyone keep Colin in your prayers, keep Vi in your prayers as well. We've got a lot going on, and we hope that it all runs smoothly. But thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you all for joining us. We will be back here next week, again in the studio, and obviously we have our usual services going on, things going on here at St. Says, like we've got our Bring Your Own Craft Cafe tomorrow. So yeah, please look out on our social media.
So that's 10 o'clock,
10 o'clock
until 1. So it's like 3 hours that you can pop in. You don't have to come for the full 3 hours. You can just pop in any time, bring something to do, from colouring in, which is what I was doing last week, to any nice little crafting project you like, because this is a space that can be used. Not everybody's got that space at home, and I think it's great to be around other people sometimes as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to have that little community growing here, and we want to have more and more people come. So looking forward to that. But again, just please get in contact with us if you want to have a look at doing anything around live streams. Let us know, and we'd be happy to accommodate. But thank you very much. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care.